You know how sometimes you think you've got the ancient world all mapped out, nice and neat?
Uh-huh, like Egypt over here, Mesopotamia over there.
Exactly. And then boom, something pops up that just completely redraws those mental borders.
Well, get ready for one of those moments today. We're diving into a really fascinating discovery announced recently by Jordan's Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What is it?
They found an inscription deep in the Wadi Rum Desert, bearing the royal seal, the cartouche of none other than Ramses III.
Wow, Ramses III in Wadi Rum. That's unexpected. I mean, Wadi Rum, you picture those incredible, like, red desert landscapes, right?
Absolutely stunning place. And yeah, right there, carved into the rock, a symbol of Egyptian royalty.
Okay, quick refresher for everyone, maybe. Ramses III, he was a big deal, wasn't he?
Oh, definitely. The second pharaoh of the 20th dynasty, often called the last truly great pharaoh of the New Kingdom. We're talking around 1186 to 1155 BC.
Right, and he's famous for, wasn't it the battles against the Sea Peoples?
That's probably his biggest claim to fame, yes. He successfully defended Egypt against these major invasions. Around 1175 BC, this coalition of groups causing chaos across the Mediterranean.
The Sea People's always so
They
mysterious.
really are. But Ramses III stopped them. There are these amazing reliefs at his temple, Medinet Habu, showing these huge battles, especially a naval victory. So he was a pharaoh who projected power, no doubt about it.
Which makes finding his marks so far away in Wadi Rum even more interesting. So tell me about the actual discovery. What did they find?
According to the press statement, it's an inscription carved onto a rock face. This is within the Wadi Rum Reserve, down in the Man Governorate in southern Jordan.
Okay.
And it's quite clear it includes his royal cartouche, that oval shape.
Yeah, the one that encircles the pharaoh's name.
Exactly.
Hmm.
And it has both his birth name and his throne name. So absolutely identifiable as Ramses III.
And the significance, according to the Jordanian ministry.
Well, this is the crucial part. They're saying this is the first piece of physical evidence showing direct Egyptian influence or presence right there in that specific region of Jordan.
The first. So we suspected things, maybe, but no hard proof until now.
Pretty much. We found Egyptian-style objects elsewhere in Jordan, suggesting trade and contact, but an actual royal inscription in Wadi Rum from this period. That's new.
Okay, let's dig into that a bit. We have Ramses III, powerful Egyptian pharaoh. Then we have Wadi Rum. What was going on there historically? It wasn't part of Egypt, right?
Definitely not part of the Egyptian Empire. Wadi Rum has its own long, rich history. It was inhabited by various groups over millennia. You know, the Nabateans later on who built Petra,
Right, the Nabatean.
various Thamudic tribes before and alongside them, early Arab Bedouin groups. It's a place with layers of history.
So the Egyptian inscription is like an overlay on this existing local history.
Precisely. It adds a whole new dimension. Now, we've always known Egypt had extensive trade links. Their routes went deep into the Levant, into the Arabian Peninsula.
And Jordan's right there, smack in the middle of those potential routes. A crossroads.
Exactly. It's strategically vital. So some level of contact makes sense. Goods moving through, maybe diplomatic missions.
But this inscription feels more direct than just trade goods passing through.
That seems to be the implication, yes. While, as the statement notes, Jordan wasn't annexed by Egypt, there's been growing evidence of Egyptian. Let's call it presence or contact in the wider region during different periods.
Okay.
But this find provides a really concrete link, specifically for the New Kingdom, and specifically to Wadi Rum. It's not just scattered pottery, it's the pharaoh's personal seal.
Which brings us back to the big question, why? Why is a Ramses III inscription there? What was happening?
That's what archaeologists will be puzzling over now, isn't it? The press statement highlights this as a first physical evidence of Egyptian influence across the region. It's a pretty bold claim.
It suggests more than just casual contact.
It really does. Could it mark the route of an official expedition? Maybe looking for resources, like minerals? Copper mines aren't too far away in that broader region, historically.
Resource exploitation.
Or perhaps diplomatic missions, trying to secure alliances or safe passage with local leaders in the area.
Or maybe even just marking Egyptian reach, like planting a flag almost.
That's another possibility, isn't it? A symbolic assertion of influence, even if not direct control. The point is, this forces us to think beyond just standard trade routes.
It really does. A royal seal carries weight. It suggests official business of some kind.
Absolutely. It signifies the authority of the Egyptian state, represented by the pharaoh himself, operating or at least being represented in Wadi Rum.
And the statement is careful not to jump to conclusions, you said.
Rightly so. Good archaeology takes time. But they stress how this discovery really adds to our picture of the connection between Egypt and Jordan back in the New Kingdom.
So the main takeaway then is that this single inscription pushes the boundary of known direct Egyptian influence during Ramses III's time.
Yes, it gives us solid physical proof of that influence reaching into Wadi Rum in a way we couldn't definitively point to before for this specific area and period.
It kind of shifts our understanding of the dynamics in that whole region during the Late Bronze Age.
It certainly adds a very important piece to the puzzle. It shows the reach of this powerful pharaoh extended in tangible ways.
Makes you wonder, doesn't it? What else is out there waiting to be found that could show these unexpected ancient connections?
Always. Archaeology is constantly surprising us.
And you also have to think, what did this Egyptian presence, whatever form it took, actually mean for the people living in Wadi Rum back then? How did it affect their lives?
That's the deeper historical question, isn't it? What was the interaction like on the ground? This inscription is a starting point for asking those kinds of questions.
A fantastic discovery. It really underscores how interconnected the ancient world was, maybe in ways we're still only beginning to grasp.
Absolutely. A small carving, but potentially big implications.